American Liberty Radio Network, sharing the truth one fact at a time, without all the BS. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing? This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce for the 18th of November, 2014. Gonna give you a rundown of what's going on. Yes, my God. Just wanted to let you know that I'm going to be on someone's show today, the Red Pill Radio Show, over at alternatecurrentradio.com. Starting at 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern, and it's with Ashley Jones over there, the host of the Red Pill Radio Show at alternatecurrentradio.com. And it's going to be interesting, so come join me over there today. What's going on in our world? Well, Ferguson is falling apart. Ferguson, Missouri, that is falling apart. They've already implemented, silently behind the scenes, implemented martial law. So nobody can do anything anywhere for any reason whatsoever. And they've called the Department of Homeland Security in with about 25 miles away from Ferguson. They have a bunch of vehicles and a former Navy or a Navy vet, former Navy personnel who was working at a hotel there, took pictures and asked, "What's all that about?" Put it up on Facebook, and the owner, the general manager, basically fired him. And so he goes, "Well, screw it. I'm gonna," they basically told him to take down the pictures and the video and all that. So he did. He complied. But then they fired him, and he said, "Well, screw him. I'm putting it back up again." And so he did. And so that's going on. But there's a lot of stuff that's happening. There's a lot of stuff that's really, really, really not good. And that's all I can say is not good. So as far as I'm concerned, the information that is out there can either be total BS and total propaganda given to you by the state-run media and all of that, or is going to be the truth, the facts, the way it is, and you're not going to believe it. So either way, you have to look at this stuff and really weigh it out and really examine how everything is going on. But the thing that you have to also remember is this, is that there are people out there who don't want you to know the truth. There are people out there sitting on information that they should be sharing with people, and they're not. Okay? They're not. And they'll give you, a little bit here, a little bit there, draw you in. It's called honeypot. They draw you into their website, to all of this, and then they'll give you about, let's just throw a figure out. They'll give you 90% of the information that is true and factual, but they'll sit on the rest of it. And so I've seen this. And there are certain things that I will not report on unless I find verification for it. This is why I have a motto, and that motto is prove yourself right. If you're going to tell me something or disagree with me on something or tell me something contradictory to what I'm putting out, you better have the proof to show it, and not Snopes.com, not any of those negative sites that I've been to already reading that bull crap. You better have some facts. If you don't, go away, have a nice day. Hey, folks, email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com. I'll be right back after this break. Go to, or again, email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com.
we have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
The view that America is part of what has gone wrong in our world, rather than a force to help us make it right, has become all too common. Yes, there have been differences between America and Europe. No doubt there will be differences in the future. But the burdens of global citizenship continue to bind us together. A change of leadership in Washington will not lift this burden. In this new century, Americans and Europeans alike will be required to do more, not less. Partnership and cooperation among nations is not a choice. It is the only way, the one way, to protect our common security and advance our common humanity.
The affirmative task we have now is to actually create a new world order, because the global order is changing again. And the institutions and the rules that worked so well in the post-World War II era for decades, they need to be strengthened, and some have to be changed. So we have to do what we do best. We have to lead. We have to lead.
Shall we play a game?
Did you know that the first Matrix was designed to be a perfect human world where none suffered, where everyone would be happy? And it was a disaster. No one would accept the program. Entire crops were lost. Some believed that we lacked the programming language to describe your perfect world, but I believe that as a species, human beings define their reality through misery and suffering. So the perfect world was a dream that your primitive cerebrum kept trying to wake up from. Which is why the Matrix was redesigned to this, the peak of your civilization.
I am wondering, why are you here?
Hey, you folks, how you doing? This is Reverend Wayne Spears right here for the 18th of November, 2014. How are ya? Hey, it's great. I always like doing this. And always like doing these because I always have something to say. I always have an opinion. I did a podcast earlier, so check that out as well. But this is for the blog section of the backup site, the audio blog section. So it's not going to be as long as a regular podcast. It's going to be relatively short, anywhere between 5 minutes to a half hour. So, stick around. You might want to learn something. I don't... I give people such a hard time. To me, it's amazing that people are not looking at what is right out in front of them and examining these things intently and saying, this is happening, but why? Instead of sitting there going, this is happening, oh, well, we need to take a look at these things and examine them for what they are. And I think that a lot of people have this, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's apathy or complacency or just they don't care. I don't know. But it has to be seen. People have to see this stuff. It is interesting to know, or I should say, it's interesting to note that most people want to know. They want to know. They want to see. They want to know. They want to understand. But yet they don't. What they want is they want people to hand them the answer on a silver platter. They want the answer right then and there. They don't want to go through the process to learn through each step to gain the information they need to get to the conclusion. They don't want that. If somebody were to ask you, what is 1 plus 1? And what are you going to say? It's 2. Okay. But if somebody comes to you and says, why do we need a stoplight at that section, that intersection of town, when there wasn't a stoplight at that section of town before? Why? And you begin to explain it. They don't want to hear the explanation. They just want you to give them the answer. They don't want to learn through each step of the process. They just want the answer. Let's dovetail that same theme into what's happening in the country. It's not that people don't want to work. It's that the powers that be have structured it to such a degree to where companies are paying more taxes, hiring people at part-time, and lower wages, and jacking up all of the premiums, if you can afford them, on all health care. This is why this country is falling apart. Now, somebody once said, and I overheard this, that everything should be on the level. Everything should be all the same for everybody. Well, in a way, that would work, depending upon the infrastructure. If the infrastructure cannot support it, then it won't work. The concept would work in theory, but if you don't have the infrastructure and the things put in place to where it would support that type of situation, it won't work. Communism didn't work. Socialism didn't work. Fascism didn't work. None of it worked. Okay? Marxism didn't work. Leninism didn't work. It just didn't work. And this is what happened. Russia is falling apart right now. Vladimir Putin is trying to hold it together, okay? And it's just not working. China is falling apart. It's not working. The only country that works and is slowly falling apart itself is the United States. And there you go. It is falling apart because of the fact that the infrastructure has been there have been things introduced into the infrastructure which has now caused it to deteriorate to such a degree to where we're going to collapse. There is no if, there is no when. We are going to. And it might as well be today because there's nothing left. Now, somebody would say, well, that's not very positive. You know what's positive? You grabbing your friends, grabbing your colleagues, going out, surrounding the governor's mansion, surrounding the Capitol building in your state, and demanding that those people be resign, and you demand the state marshal's office to arrest each and every one of those politicians that caused this infrastructure to fail. Now, some people say that won't work. Well, why wouldn't it? Iceland did it 6 years ago, and look at them now. They purposely collapsed their country by kicking the EU out. They wrote a new constitution, and now they're doing very well. Okay? So, the statistic I heard this morning, matter of fact, a little bit ago, about a half hour ago on the Pete Santilli Show on the Guerrilla Media Network, literally said that we rank 21st on the list of countries in the world that have personal freedoms. 21st. We should rank number 1, but we don't. We don't. New Zealand's in there, Iceland's in there. We're number 21. What does that tell you, people? What does that tell you? That tells you that we are either apathetic or complacent. That tells you that we have people who really don't give a crap. The government makes enough money. Other people pay into the government on their taxes and all that, and there are people sitting there going, I want that money because I deserve it. And they don't want to do anything for it. They're not paying into Social Security. They're not paying their taxes. They get entitlements. In some cases, they don't have to pay taxes on. Okay? So this really bugs the crap out of me. It really, really does. When I get back from the break, I'll finish up my thought, and we'll get into something else. You can email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com, and hey, I shall return. Eastland Radio Repertory Theater is looking for you. Are you a voice actor? Do you want to hone your abilities? Please send your audition clips to Eastland Radio Theater at USA.com. We are currently looking for voice actors to fill certain character roles in an ongoing radio play in development. Please send your audition clips to Eastland Radio Theater at USA.com. You're listening to the views expressed right here on the Free America Radio Network. The world as we know it is changing. We must speak out against the tyranny in our country. Stand up. Speak out. Get involved. Live Truth Radio. The reality underneath the honesty. LiveTruthRadio.com. The Wayne S. Pierce Show on the Free America Radio Network. Go to thewaynespearceshow.weebly.com for more information. And catch the Wayne S. Pierce Show Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 12 noon Pacific, 3 Eastern on the Free America Radio Network.
It's time to take our republic back, folks. Brian Bonner, the Uncooperative Radio Show host, will tell you how. Join us for the ride of your life. Using humor and the facts, we will expose the news that the lamestream media refuses to report. The Constitution is a solution, and we can prove it. Listen in and find out what it means to be an uncooperative citizen of these United States. You can find our show at uncooperativerradio.com, and we are rebroadcast on redstatetalkradio.com.
Sharing the truth one fact at a time. This is the Free America Radio Network.
Hey, folks, how you doing? I'm back. Yeah, so pay attention. That's what I tell people, pay attention. So, the things that we manage, that's a good word, isn't it? The things that we manage to see, like the stoplight in a part of the neighborhood that you never saw one there. Why is it there? So you got to ask questions. You got to dig deep. You got to, prove yourself right. Because, Mama didn't raise no fool on this end, I'll tell you. She says if you are going to tell somebody something, know what you're talking about. Which means that you got to do your homework, which means, you got to dig until you get to the point where, you're pretty confident that what you have is accurate and truthful. So anyway, I'm going to wrap that up and let's go here. I'm going to be on the Red Pill Radio show today. And the Red Pill Radio Show is hosted by Ashley Jones. It's on Alternate Current Radio. She's going to have on the vet Mark Paffrath, who was fired by the Chesterfield, Missouri Drury Plaza Hotel and threatened with terrorism charges for posting photos on Facebook for over 100 Homeland Security vehicles that were parked in the hotel's garage. Also, I'm going to be on there. And it's interesting as well, because a lot of people would say, well, how can anyone be so patriotic, bring out so much stuff? And here it is. Look, boom, and they show it to you. And then the people in charge say, no, you can't do that. You got a job, you're fired, go away, you're a terrorist. How can they do that? Well, you know who we're dealing with, don't you? Seriously. You know who we're dealing with. We're dealing with a bunch of freaking commies. Bunch of communists, or I should say, let me put it to you more accurately. We're dealing with people who have communist ideologies. And they always have had communist ideologies. And that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. And that's the ideology and the philosophies that are going to be placed in the United States. And the people that are in charge literally don't give one rat's patoot about you. They don't care. They're going to do it anyway. Oh, but we voted in the Republicans to change things. Do you really think they have brains enough or, balls enough to go out and impeach the president at this point? No, not at all. He's only got 2 years. So what's the point? By the time they get through the Senate hearings and all of that, he's going to be out of office. Hello, reminiscent of Bill Clinton in his last term. Same thing. Same thing. It's not going to work. Republicans and Democrats are on the same team. They're just fighting to see who's going to be moving the chess pieces in this global chess game. That's it. That's all it is. WashingtonExaminer.com states, talks about personal freedom. Let me hit on this. Under Obama, U.S. personal freedom ranking slips below France. Hello? We're below France. Let me give you a list, and I'll put this article up on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page. And I want people to understand one very important thing. We were at one point in our history the most industrious, the most free world, or not world, but the country, the most freest country in the world. So what happened? Idiots happened. Idiots in form of corporations that are bought and paid for by the, by members who are of the CFR Trilateral Commission, who are also on board members on different global corporations, and also have seats at the Federal Reserve. So, it's that type of thing. So, and if you don't believe me, just go do your homework. The 2014 Personal Freedom Rankings is this, and there's 25 of them, and I'll go down the whole 25 because, if I can, because I've only got a few minutes left. But here it is. Number 1, New Zealand. Number 2, Norway. Number 3, Australia. Number 4, Iceland. Number 5, Canada. Number 6, Sweden. Number 7, Netherlands. Number 8, Uruguay. Number 9, Denmark. Number 10, United Kingdom. They're falling apart. Number 11, Ireland. Number 12, Switzerland. Number 13, Belgium. Number 14, Germany. Number 15, Costa Rica. Number 16, Finland. Number 17, France. Number 18, Austria. Number 19, Malta. Number 20, Portugal. Number 21, United States. Number 22, Spain. Number 23, Hong Kong. Number 24, Slovenia. Number 25, Trinidad and Tobago. I don't see Mexico on there, do you? They're not in the top 25, are they? Interesting, huh? Kind of makes you wonder, folks. Makes you seriously wonder about this whole thing, doesn't it? I mean, I've been studying corporations and shadow governments for many, many years, since I was in high school, and I can tell you this much right now. Yeah, there's a shadow government that runs everything. Don't believe me? Go do your homework. Go check it out. I did. I was in high school at the time when I started working on this stuff, and I'm like, what? Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm never one to just stand there and notice that the door is locked and not try to open it. There's got to be something back there. Somebody's hiding something from us, and I want to find out what it is. And I do everything I can to find out. So, it's called being tenacious. It's called, being brutal in your approach at times. Cautionary, but be brutal. And I got to tell you, folks, it wasn't easy to sit there one day and realize that the government that we supposedly vote, to oversee the operation of the United States is a corporate entity. Go look it up. It's a corporation, folks. And it's owned by foreign banks and foreign interests. Why do you think there is so many foreign investors in the United States buying up land, buying up buildings, buying up corporations? Oh, by the way, just FYI, did you know that there's ghost cities in China? Yeah, go look it up. And there's a lot of cities like that here. Just built in the middle of nowhere. There's nobody there, nobody living there, no infrastructure. I mean, all the infrastructure is there. It's not operational as of yet. Same thing with China. Why? I don't know. But anyway, hey, folks, catch me on Alternate Current Radio today at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern on the Red Pill Radio Show with your host, Ashley Jones. And, yes, we'll go from there. The backup site for this show is AmericanLibertyRadio.wix.com/ALR network. Let me say that one more time. AmericanLibertyRadio.wix, that's WIX.com/ALR network. So if you have any questions, concerns, comments, even if you disagree with me, show me why. Free America Radio at USA.com. Free America Radio at USA.com. Folks, I'll be bringing you more of these audio blogs to you, so stay tuned. Talk to you later. Have a great Tuesday and enjoy the rest of your week.